So I'm going to talk about how we did all of this stuff. These are the kind of 5 things. I'll just noodle into each one. So the first one, data mining and kind of doing that. Well, you've got to do it all the time, right? There's 3 sources. If you work in automotive, you know there's this industry standard called CIMA, which is kind of a ranking between automotive manufacturers. We get it weekly. We cite Catalyst. That's your analytics package. You know, data's at the heart of all this. And the last is from the retail side, the customer satisfaction. What's it like when someone's been routing through a showroom? You need to kind of put all that in the blender and hit the frappe button. Yeah? It's not one thing's going to kind of tell you that. And much like X-Files, the truth is out there, but it's in CSV files. And it sounds dull, but I tell you what gets me up in the morning. And it's not like you can just do this thing and boom, here's the answer. And here's kind of, it's just a snapshot to try and make it readable. And this is from some verbatim. I read the verbatims. It's not someone else's job. And you can kind of start seeing patterns and clustering things together. And this was actually at the start of the My Perfect piece of work. We didn't even know we had to make one of those. It came genuinely from the kind of needs that we saw. And I think, you know, you can concept out a proposition and, you know, I try and make this happen in 48 hours. It really kind of gathers some pace around an idea. And the tool, which I like, some people might say it's too simple, is InVision. You can come up with the idea, you can sketch it out, you can, you know, paint it up. It doesn't have to look perfect there. You could argue that's a bit wireframey. That's okay. And you can stitch it together. And then all of a sudden, that can be on someone's phone. And in this case, it was on the CMO's phone within 2 hours. And it's something everyone can point at and talk to. It's really simple to kind of do this stuff. The ecosystem, right? From those kind of workshops, I always use Omni Outliner. I think it's a great tool because it partially looks better in Excel. And it's pretty easy to kind of resort, filter, hide, and collapse things. And you can start putting a roadmap together. Now, this thing had only about 390 lines in, and you know I could memorize all of them, part cyborg, so it was easy for me. But for the client, the best thing to do is try and start bringing that to life. And the first time you show this, it normally scares the daylights out of folks. But it's pretty easy to talk through. It's about relationships. It's, well, let's talk through the customer journey. We're going to start with that thing, then that, and this is a child of that. And everyone gets it. Personas have obviously always been part of user-centered design, but I think it's about kind of using them on an ongoing basis and how you do that. So really simply, we use 3 different kind of segments here, and you can see what I do is I have an onion skin mode to the ecosystem. I just turn off the stuff which doesn't fit with that need. So you can see, in this case, different folks want different things. It's pretty straightforward, right? But that's one way you can start conveying to a wider organization why you need to change and what are the kind of services. And I've just zoomed in there so you can see in a short list the kinds of different things that different people want. The magic is where all 3, you know, light up, Yahtzee. That's the thing to design for, isn't it? It is not a usability test at this stage. Yeah? You're trying to understand what are the features that people need. And here's a snapshot of our kind of 11 themes across some owners' work that we're doing. And we score the themes, the ladder up, out of 5. Support that with evidence. You know, a lot of things, organizations are resistant to change and that transformation because of deep-seated beliefs. You show them, here's somebody, and this is, I stand corrected on this, here's a thing which we all thought was rubbish. Tell you what, it's the thing customers love the most. Showed that to CMO, it's the #1 feature we're building at the moment. Just that evidencing with video is really kind of quite powerful to a management team. And this is a pretty simplistic tool, but it's about documenting what is the customer thinking, feeling, and doing so before they've come in and done something, during, and post, after they've kind of cleared off. And it's a very overly simplistic experience map, but when you do this, and you do it with verbatim, you can quickly go, well, actually, we've introduced like a big problem there. It's like, okay, well, need to kind of fix them things. And quite often, you want to rush in and go, oh, we've got some cool tech. We can do this, we can sort it out. And, the customer research is saying awesome. Fail. You didn't involve the business. We designed something that really annoyed the hell out of salespeople. So don't use Moscow. That's a totally rubbish way of prioritizing features. It's just lazy of saying what must, based on what? Based on you thinking this is a must do. Do it right. 5 by 5. There's various kinds of methodologies. Some people call them cube, O-Tech. There's a whole bunch of them. They all do the same thing, and it's about the data and trying to assess where really is the true intersect of what the customer needs and what the business needs.